This week, it's the convenience store week for Farming Simulator 25 fact sheets. That's right, it's week 7 of 11. Dad jokes aside, for those that don't get it, 7-Eleven is a convenience store here in the US, and it turns out that we will have 11 weeks of fact sheets. So yeah, a dad joke. It just had to be said. Enough of a rambling man's musing. Let's get on with the nitty-gritty. Starting us out this week is the FARMER-KLEIN Ultima 800 Direct Seeder. As it is shown here in the image, the seeder does not need to have the field prepared ahead of its use. As such, it's fairly heavy at 10.1 tons, requires a good amount of power, in this case 275 horsepower, and has a fairly high cost of $181,000. The question to you is, does the trade-off cost account for the fact that you don't need to buy a cultivator? Are you willing to forego a plow bonus if the field is in a need plow state? All of these things should be considered when going for a direct seeder over one that needs either plowing or cultivating ahead of its use. The Ultima has a nice sized single chamber seed hopper, so no fertilizer application at the same time. It can hold 4,000 liters of seed and is capable of working the field 8 meters at a time at 12 miles per hour. The second fact sheet of the week introduces us to a new vehicle from a new to FS25 brand in AgriFac. A few weeks back, we learned about the Condor sprayer from AgriFac, and today we discover that in addition to the Ropa self-propelled beet harvester, we're going to be able to use the Light Trax sugar beet harvester from AgriFac. A dual-headed monster that is actually rather light, coming in at a total of 21 tons, and a cost of $527,000. Unlike the Ropa, that has a weight of 33.4 tons, or the Grimmy sugar beet harvester from FS22 came in at 34 tons, I dubbed it a dual-headed monster because of its header configuration. Where other self-propelled beet harvesters have the header where you can also top and dig the beets up out of the ground in a single component, the Light Trax seems to have two separate headers, one that takes the foliage off the beet and the other that digs it up off the ground. A unique looking machine for sure. While the fact sheet does not have this info, the spec sheet I found online reports that the working width is 6 rows with 45 to 50 meter spacing and a transport width of 3.5 meters. So let's call the working width 3.5 meters. Also, the hopper will hold 18,500 liters for the product. The harvester will also hold 900 liters of fuel, and you'll need all that fuel to power the 469 horsepower engine. Now let's hope this monster will fit on a low boy trailer, as it has a top speed of 15 miles per hour and a working speed in the field of 6 miles per hour. One last bit before we leave. It's not easy to see on the fact sheet, but the rear wheels are inset quite a bit on the machine, and as such we can see in this photo of how each wheel forms its own track on the field, spreading the weight out of the machine over the full 3.5 meter working width, providing as light an impact on the ground as possible. Farming Simulator 25 expands the Amity lineup of agricultural machines, new to the FS franchise in 22 with the Amity Beet Cart. In FS25, we'll get at the very least the 2720 Harvester Scrub Sugar Beet Harvester, as well as the Crop Chaser 1000 Auger Wagon. Let's start out with the Harvester. A lower cost option versus the Light Trax self-propelled harvester, having a cost of just $175,000. The 2720 is a trailed harvester requiring a tractor with 280 horsepower or greater to operate at its full working speed of 6 miles per hour. Now, an impressive working width of 6.4 meters for a trailed harvester, nearly double that of the Light Trax. It will store just 6,500 liters of beets, so be sure to have that Crop Chaser nearby. More impressive than the working width, though, is its weight. The 2720 weighs nearly as much as the Light Trax, and it had an engine, a transmission, and a cab on it. Does that make the weight of the Light Trax impressive? Or is it the 2720 that's impressive? Let me know down in the comments below. Either way, to be sure, the tractor pulling this harvester has to not only meet the power requirements, but also needs enough weight of its own to manage this thing. Now let's move on to the equally impressive Amity Crop Chaser Auger Wagon. Well, once you take a look at the website for the real-life unit, I think you'll agree to me that it's really a dump cart in its design rather than an auger wagon, because to unload the whole body of the crop chaser lifts up and tips over, dumping with the aid of a moving floor/side. Unlike the B cart from FS22, the crop chaser will also work with just about every fill type available in FS, from grains to root crops, forage, seed, lime, and even olives. From the looks of it, the only bulk items that we can't use in the crop chaser would be grapes. Holding nearly 21,000 liters, I can see this becoming a farm favorite for those liking the big fields. As one might expect, the power requirements on this bin are quite high, given its empty weight of 21.8 tons. Then add to that the weight of 61,000 liters worth of product. Be sure to have a large tractor with at least 450 horsepower and enough weight on its own to keep the trailer behind it. Given everything else, I think the $160,000 price tag is very reasonable. We close out today's really impressive fact sheet lineup with the Massey Ferguson 8570 Harvester. Teased in the Asian map reveal from the Tokyo Game Show, we learn a bit more about this great starting harvester. I think I might have reported the production years wrong on this harvester in my Hutan Pantai video. Today, when researching the harvester a bit more, I discovered it's manufactured between the years of 1990 and 1997. The traditional grain harvester has 250 horsepower engine and will hold 8,000 liters worth of grain. The variable CVT hydrostatic transmission will also move the harvester slowly down the road at 15 miles per hour. And having a cost of just $104,500, this might very well be replacing the Deutz 4090 starting harvester we had in FS22. Just like the 4090, the corresponding header is aptly named the MF8570 header. With a 6 meter working width and a 6 mile per hour working speed, farmers will be harvesting wheat, barley, oat, canola, sorghum, soybeans, and long grain rice from the comfort of their 8570's modern, for the times, cab. Farmers can be all in on this setup for just under $135,000. Now, before closing out this video, I want to mention that in the description, I have links to everything that we've seen today's real-life counterparts web pages. If you want to learn more about these amazing machines, then please check out those links. The product brochure for the 8570 is quite a bit of blast from the past for sure. If I read the date code on the document correctly, it was updated in August of 1993. I hope you all have enjoyed this week's rundown of the fact sheets. Just 4 more until we go to the release of Farming Simulator 25. If you just can't miss out on using the 8570 or the new light tracks and feel the urge to pre-order the game, it would bring me great joy and happiness if you use one of my affiliate links in the video's description. PC players have the choice of the base game or the Year 1 bundle that also includes the Year 1 Season Pass from the Giant eShop. Both also include the MacDon Pack, which we profiled earlier in the week, and the golden skinned CR11 from Monday's video. PC players also have the option of picking up the FS25 Collector's Edition using the Amazon link in the description. Monday's video on the CR11 also gave a rundown of what's included in the Collector's Edition, so why not check that video out next if you're unsure what you want to watch. Console players, you're not left out. You can of course pre-order a physical copy of the game using the same Amazon link, or feel free to order from your respective digital stores. If you like this video, then why not toss it a thumbs up? It can take some time to work on trying to relay the speeds and feeds from these fact sheets in a somewhat witty fashion. Doing so will go a long way in having YouTube recommend the video to others. The channel is making a slow crawl to our goal of 50,000 subs by the release of FS25. We're nearly 500 away, so if you would be a dear or a gent, then click that subscribe button also. If this week's a sign of anything to come. Then there's a whole lot of news yet to come out about Farming Simulator 25 in the next few weeks. In addition, we'll be sure to publish an extensive rundown of how-to videos, map guides, as well as other useful information post-launch. Until next time, happy farming!